Come on.
Honestly, though, if you're a real Nickelodeon fan, you should still be mad about last year. It should have been the fucking Bubble Bowl in honor of the SpongeBob creator for the damn Super Bowl halftime show instead of fucking, who was it, Travis Scott?
Well, they could have done whoever they wanted.
They
to
could
do
have
for
done
that
Travis
time.
Scott
But
and
the Bubble Ball
SpongeBob.
thing is
It should have
3
been the
minutes
goddamn
long.
Bubble Bowl. Give me the Bubble Bowl, goddamn it!
Chris is willing to die on. Probably something dumb food related, and it should have been the Bubble Bowl.
Dude, I am on that ship. Like, if there was ever a time for the Bubble Bowl, it was last year's halftime show.
They fucked us. They royally fucked us.
We signed a petition, man.
Yeah.
Welcome to the BOTA Show, everybody. I almost fucking butchered our name off the gun. BOTA Show. I am James. I'm going to be hosting today with Drew. Drew, how the fuck are you?
Oh, living the dream, buddy. How you doing?
Oh, that's so good. I am fantastic. Oh my God, this light's going to kill me. Zach, Chris, you're also joining us today. Gentlemen, how we doing?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Bye.
Chris,
Chris?
how you doing?
Bueller?
Chris?
Bueller?
Chris?
I'm talking.
Wait, no, James. No, James, I got this. I got it.
Hello, can you hear me?
There we go.
Chris, shut up. Hold on for a second. I got to call Chris. Chris, shut up. Let's see. Chris Cassidy.
I'm interested to see where this is going.
Yep.
Is this a new segment?
Yeah, this is actually an old segment.
Wow.
Get fucked.
You straight.
Oh, it's okay. I have voicemail.
Can you guys hear me though? Am I here?
Can now.
I forgot to put my mic out. I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
Success. Glad you're here,
Little
Chris.
slut.
Thanks for being a burden.
Again, without answering my call, I swear to God, I'll skin you alive. Thank you.
Interesting voice bill, definitely not incriminating at all.
No,
Maybe don't go down any dark alleys for that.
no. If I get caught, everyone's going down with me.
You know my voicemail's tapped too, right?
Chris, don't accidentally get skinned alive so that Zach gets framed for it either.
Oh
You
no,
know,
I'm at the peeler
Put
factory.
in your voicemail. I'm just like chilling, like going grocery shopping, and there's a fucking SWAT team that takes me down because Chris got skinned alive.
We heard the voicemail. We know what you did.
Hold on, I'm sorry guys. I gotta take this.
Is this really how we're starting the show? Is you guys calling each other? You're
Okay, I'm glad you called me back. I just got a quick question.
That is going to be
What's going
ear cancer.
All right. Well, this is how we like to do it. James, enjoy your ADHD. And here he goes.
That cap was fucking slick.
Yeah.
Just shot that shit across the room, dude.
All right, well that cap's gone now. I'm gonna have to figure out that solution. But
Some might say no cap, James. No cap.
Jesus Christ. Welcome everyone to the BOTA Show. We're gonna try this again. I almost butchered the name again. To start it off, let's talk about the coaching carousel in the NFL. I mean, just today we had forgot his name already.
Robert Saleh.
No, not
Urban
Robert.
Meyer.
Robert Sala's not
Urban
Meyer.
Meyer was yesterday. wasn't
Titans OC. So that is Arthur Smith. I forgot the name Arthur Smith. Arguably the most basic name, right next to I can't think of the fucking Bengals.
He also has the same first name as the Falcons GM, so it's really easy.
Oh yeah, Arthur Blank. How do I know that off the top of my head?
Right?
So yeah, I mean Arthur Smith going to the Falcons, Urban Meyer going to the Jags, Brad Holmes becoming the GM of the Lions, and Robert Saleh going to the fucking Jets. I love 3 out of 4 of those.
Yeah, agreed.
Urban Meyer, is that the one you don't like?
That is the one I do not like, yes. want
For those of you out there, though, I have found Little Deshaun. I think this one's a lot easier.
Did you just say you love Urban Meyer?
I love Urban Meyer as a coach. I hate him as an NFL coach. He's just ruining his own pathway here.
His brand, yeah.
For anyone who has read the article, or I guess hasn't read the article, he bailed when it got tough at Florida when players started failing drug tests. He bailed on Ohio State when they started sucking, both times for medical reasons. He's had a hard-on for the USC job. If you listen to anything he's on Fox, he'll talk about USC like it's a goddamn sorority girl he's fucking lusting over. But here we are. Now he's going to Jacksonville, and he's unproven. And not even unproven as like unproven coaches come. I mean, obviously Salah, Stefanski's going to do a great job with it, and like all these other coaches, you have to get an opportunity at some point. But everyone's putting him on this high pedestal like he was a top coaching selection, when in reality, he's just on the same level as Salah. He has no experience.
And just to add, like, I feel like they're usually, given his position and how, well known he is as one of the best college coaches of all time, it's tough to just go from college to the NFL. You see all these teams bringing in offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators and, coaches from other teams, special teams coaches even, but just guys that have experience working with NFL players and in an NFL system. Because the jump from college to the NFL is insane. It's a whole different game, basically.
And not everyone can do it. Like
Exactly.
we talked about a while ago, the only coach I can name off the top of my head was Pete Carroll.
Right. And look at the other ones that teams have tried to make it work with. Chip Kelly, like, come on, dude.
Doesn't happen.
There needs to be some level of NFL experience before bringing in a head coach, in my opinion.
That's fair enough. At least some kind of coordinator gig. Even
right.
Fuck, Joe Judge is doing it.
Think about it like this, though. I mean, if you're a desperate enough team, you're going to hire anyone. The fucking Jack.
There are still better options.
Of course there are. But again, and again, James, I know James is going to cringe at this, but really, you think Shad Khan's going to actually do what's best for his team?
No.
Of course not.
He'd rather sell them for a pontoon boat and go live out on the bayou rather than fucking dealing with Jacksonville.
Which makes it all the more confusing as to why Urban Meyer would choose to go there. You're talking about a team that's had a history and a culture of just being toxic over the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Why, as a coach that doesn't like to deal with that, would you willingly walk into that environment other than Trevor Lawrence?
I'm glad you said Trevor Lawrence. I want to debunk something right the fuck now, which has been pissing me off. Everyone is saying that Urban Meyer is going to go Justin Fields with that first pick. He is not. I can promise you. I'm willing to bet my fucking skin on it. I'll put a fucking tattoo on it. Urban Meyer is drafting Trevor Lawrence. What's up, sir? Sorry.
Just as a college coach, watching this kid play for 4 years, I'm sure any college coach in the country would give their left testicle to coach Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, to have recruited and got Trevor Lawrence. Fuck you, Tennessee, by the way, while we're at it. But that's a whole nother side tangent. The main connection people make with that is that they think Justin Fields, because he was at Ohio State, was there when Urban Meyer was there. They think he recruited him. Justin Fields was originally at Georgia. He transferred to Ohio State after Urban Meyer had already left. Urban Meyer has zero,
nothing to do with it. It's just literally just the school affiliation. That's it. Which I think is hilarious.
That's it.
Yeah.
I don't think Urban Meyer could give a fuck about Ohio State. I don't care if he was an ethics teacher or whatever the fuck he was after. He doesn't give a shit. He doesn't give a shit about Jacksonville. He's gonna fail. You deserve better, Jags fans. He was an ethics teacher and just quit on multiple teams, just like whatever. Yeah. It was something. He should take his own class once in a while. I'd have to look it up and see what exactly it was, but yeah, that's kind of what I got about that. That's all my Urban Meyer anger off the bat.
I mean, the real thing is, can he save the Jaguars?
Meyer urban myth. Yeah.
The real test is going to be like James was saying, he quit when it got tough, and now he's going into a team that literally has the first round draft pick. So is he just going to magically save them? And
Chris, I'd like to point out that every other team also has a first round draft pick.
That's not true. The Texans don't.
That was kind of weird.
Oh, suck it, Zach.
For swooping in and reminding Houston why they suck.
I think Chris was saying they have the number 1 pick.
I know what he's saying. I'm just being an ass.
We're just
You
being
are an ass,
petty.
and you just got proved wrong while being an ass. So, oof.
They technically did have a first round pick. They just
did not do.
Yeah. How's Laramie Tunsil doing for you, Houston?
Point being,
All right. Is he doing good for you? Yeah. Okay.
Jaguars are most likely going to have Trevor Lawrence. Can Urban Meyer come in and save the Jaguars, or is it going to be a shit show?
I think he has potential to make the offense real fun. I think if they end up with Trevor Lawrence, LaVisca Chenault, DJ Shark, got to build up the O-line a little bit, but they're not far away from having a decent offense.
Spoiler alert.
And they have James Robinson now too. So I mean,
they got a legit running back. So
all right,
that's not Leonard Fournette.
Yeah,
I am not done with my Urban Meyer hate. He does an awful job developing quarterbacks. You want to give him credit for a quarterback? Dwayne Haskins. He raised a one-read quarterback in a system that could support him because every other fucking player on there was a goddamn first-round pick. Boom. Fuck.
Truth.
Trevor Lawrence is heading towards a sinking ship.
Speak your truth, Queen.
Now, here's the real question. Say the Jets had not been the Jets and still had the first-round pick. They still hire Saleh. The Jags still hire Meyer. Is Trevor Lawrence better off on the Jets?
I actually want to say yes to that, Drew, because the Jets are close to. They haven't officially hired Mike LaFleur.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Matty Boy's brother.
Yeah, who I think he was with in Tennessee, if I'm not wrong.
They might have been together in Tennessee. I thought he was in, like, San Francisco or something.
I don't know. I know there's a connection where they both coach together, and I think that would be phenomenal for Trevor Lawrence's growth.
100%, yeah. I mean, look what Matt LaFleur's been able to do with Aaron Rodgers. Maybe it's not all on him, and it's a lot of the team lighting fires under him, but you can't argue with 26-6 over your first 32 regular season games. So the LaFleur blood, hopefully it runs strong for the Jets there.
So Matt and Mike, are you serious? Couldn't it diverge the name a little bit more?
Well, also, I mean, I think he would have been better off in the Jets, and namely from like a fan perspective. Like the Jets had that no matter what you say about the Jets, like they have some pretty loyal fans. Some of them are. But I mean, like I've never met a Jacksonville Jaguar fan. I don't think.
And a lot of that comes down to the Jets being a super well-established NFL franchise. They played in Super Bowl III, and the Jacksonville Jaguars literally were founded in the 1990s. So, like,
right. Well, that's fair. I'm just saying, like, you know, you look at some new teams from other sports or franchises. I mean, like, I know a bunch of Golden Knight fans. You know what I mean? We know Golden Knight fans.
Day one.
Yeah,
well, I think the other issue is that the Jaguars were plopped in a state that had two other football teams already.
They were literally plopped
right underneath the Falcons. So
are you saying you don't know any Jaguars fans? Is that what this topic is?
No, my whole point is that I think he would have been better off in New York because
from a brand recognition.
I'm using that as an example because obviously Mike is a Jets fan. We already know that. But like, I mean, if you go say like, you know, if you're following the Patriots, they play the Jags and the Jets, like the Jets are there. The fans are going to heckle you. And like, they're passionate about their team, no matter how bad they suck, kind of like the Browns.
Woo!
But I mean, I don't know any passionate Jaguars fans. You know what I mean? Like,
I know some. I know many, and when you go down in that side of Florida, that upper half, it's all Jaguars fans.
Duval County, baby.
They're fucking crazy.
Oh!
Like
right,
season tickets when they know they're gonna have a 1-16 record. Or 1-15.
They're gonna lose more games than is physically possible.
You buy a family meal there, they give you season tickets for life.
Yeah.
You buy a Happy Meal at any McDonald's in Jacksonville, and the toy that comes with it are Jacksonville Jaguars season tickets.
Yeah, season tickets to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Granted, they were doing that at Tampa Bay until Brady came.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure you could get. We were talking about it
franchise
before Brady went. That season tickets for the Bucks was like $900. That's it. Which at Gillette, it'd be about $12,000.
And you'd be on a waiting list for 7 years.
I'm on a waiting list now. I signed up last year. I'm projected to get my season tickets in like 2033.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
that
just hope
bad.
they start sucking hard, and then the price goes down, and you move up the list.
Yeah. I'm going to do that for the Bruins because eventually that window's going to close for them, and they're going to go, yeah.
Yeah, the Bruins are heading towards a full rebuild in the relatively near future. So
Yeah, scary.
I think they can do better than the Pats did, though.
they have so much more time and so many less pieces that are just, what are you going to stay? Are you going to go? Or are you going to retire here? What are you going to do? They got a lot of time and a lot of opportunities. They just need to make sure they take advantage of them now.
Chris, I'm willing to make this bet with you right now. The Bruins finish with more wins than the Patriots.
I would like to take that bet, please.
No, you got to take the ante.
I'd like to make this bet with you, but you can only take the ante.
Right.
All right, no, I'm gonna. No, this is a more reasonable bet. Next year, Chris, I'm gonna bet you that the New England Patriots are the second best team that play at that stadium.
What does that have to do with the Bruins?
It has nothing to do with the Bruins. We're making bets. I'm fucking shooting my
You're
shot.
just trying to put bets on?
Why not? It's the BOTA Show. Anything goes. The New England Revolution will be a better team than the New England Patriots next year. Fact. Count it. Money.
Do you know anything about the Revolution?
I know that they made the Eastern Conference Finals and lost to Orlando. No, not Orlando.
No.
Cincinnati, maybe? It was an Ohio team, something like that. No, Columbus. It was Columbus.
Yeah.
Columbus.
Okay.
Suck my eggs,
Okay.
bitch.
Do you know when the last time they made the playoffs were?
69.
69.
Not you, James. Not you.
I have no idea. Maybe 2 or 3.
Or 20.
I don't, Chris. I don't.
Okay, so next topic.
Yeah, so while Chris actually looks for the answer for that because he doesn't know either, we'll move.
We were at that season. They won it like the last 3 years. They made the playoffs except for one of them, and we used to go for literally $35 when they'd have to close seats off because there was no one there, and then they took off, and the stadium was almost sold out for 1 year, and they made it.
All right, Chris, let's get the show back to the host.
Yeah, Chris. God damn it.
You were the one that called me out.
You
Yeah, no, I know. I'm saying. I'm sorry. Let's give the show back to the host.
We're gonna lose more games than the Patriots. Like fucking weirdo. Idiot. It's Susie.
Idiot.
Duval!
Something we didn't get to talk about on the Garbage Time show with BOTA Sports, now live everywhere, is how much. I'm not going to be one of those guys that says how much I hated the Nickelodeon broadcast, but I hated how weird it was.
James, you
It could have been so much better. It could have been so good. I liked them making references to like old Nickelodeon shows and stuff,
Right.
and like that was fun. But the chick in the booth getting excited every time the punter punted the football just because it went so high. It's
So-
like,
Come on.
Honestly, though, if you're a real Nickelodeon fan, you should still be mad about last year. It should have been the fucking Bubble Bowl in honor of the SpongeBob creator for the damn Super Bowl halftime show instead of fucking, who was it, Travis Scott?
well, they could have done whoever they wanted.
They
to
could
do
have done
for that.
Travis Scott
But
and
the Bubble
SpongeBob.
Bowl thing is.
It should have been the
30 minutes
goddamn
long.
Bubble Bowl.
Give me the Bubble Bowl, goddamn!
This is willing to die on. Probably something dumb food related, and it should have been the Bubble Bowl.
Dude,
No,
I am on that ship. Like, if there was ever a time for the Bubble Bowl, it was last year's halftime show.
They fucked us. They royally fucked us.
We signed a petition, man.
Yeah.
I did too.
You know what? You know who did us right? You know who's fucking did us right? The Dallas Stars. They did us right. Because remember, right after that, they were like, we know you're disappointed. Here's the actual Bubble Bowl. And they did it like
We got a little sweet victory.
Yeah. It's a sweet, sweet, sweet victory,
Sorry,
James.
Denmark. You're not going to hear this one either. No. So what I hated about it was kind of what Drew said. They were suspect weird with this girl, Gabby, who I'm like definitely old enough to not know who she is, or like before this. But At one point, they straight up ask her how she goes to the bathroom on set. And I just did not feel all right with that. I'm watching it and I'm like, ugh, the fuck? And then they're like, Gabby, what's it like to get slimed? And she's like saying stuff like it's hard to get out of your hair. And I'm like, dude, you are 15 and I feel gross. So I changed it to CBS and I got bored. I went back to Nickelodeon.
Because you're like, Tony Romo's calling a place. You're like, all right.
Did it go through anyone else's mind that if they were to actually slime the touchdown, the end zone, how much of a disaster that would be?
It would
I thought it would be
unequivocally be
You
worse.
wouldn't be able to continue playing the game.
The amount of ACL tears
Oh,
for trying to run in the end zone.
You think people celebrating and tearing their ACL is bad now? Just wait until there's
Until
slime.
there's actual slime coming out of the field posts.
Oh my god! I mean, it was really weird. And for the beginning of the game, their line of scrimmage and first down line was all fucked up. So every time the camera moved, it would move with it. I'm just like, ah! Fucking eyes!
James, you didn't like young Sheldon coming on and explaining all
I actually hated young Sheldon more
I
than
liked that. I liked that. I don't know. I thought it was a good overall kind of concept, and
I did too. It's not the worst thing in the world. It was just weird.
yeah,
It was.
the execution was subpar, and it's a shame because I really, really like Nate Burleson too. So
I do.
James, I just want to let you know you've just been called out. Your hot takes apparently are terrible. And who the fuck doesn't like young Sheldon? You're garbage.
Young Sheldon's a dumb shit show based off of another dumb shit show.
ooh, wait a minute.
I will agree with that.
Wait, I like the Big Bang
Bang Theory
Theory.
is garbage.
I
do you
the
like
Big
it
Bang Theory.
For the
So,
show
James,
or
you know
for
how we're
Kaylee
gonna have
Cuoco?
brisket? We're gonna have
Well,
brisket on
Kaylee
Sunday.
Cuoco helps, but the rest of the show's all right.
We're gonna have brisket on Sunday. James, you are no longer invited. Sorry.
Right.
You've been
Sounds
uninvited by.
I will agree with that. Not a huge Big Bang Theory guy.
Oh Christ!
Chris, I expected that from you.
It's too sophisticated.
Why did you
for
expect that
I
from me?
understand.
Sophisticated.
Because you don't like the kind of humor. Oh, look at that!
Just because he has a catchphrase, doesn't
Sophisticated.
mean
Coming from the
other
guys
stuff
who are
is-
obsessed with Letterkenny.
What's wrong with Letterkenny?
It's
I
too
went to school
sophisticated for me.
for
I'm
rocket
sorry.
science.
I like both shows. So what the fuck does that mean?
Diversification, man.
No, they don't like either show. We like both shows, and they're the ones calling us fucking like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. You know what I say to you?
What?
Give your fucking balls a tug, tit fucker. What I say?
So next and final, Jesus Christ, Chase Claypool is salty. What the fuck?
Yeah, talk about salty.
And-
Oh my
starts
god.
He's such
so
a hypocrite,
salty.
dude. He's such a
Oh.
hypocrite.
You're
He's
talking
on the
about-
sidelines
100%.
all the time, mocking people and fucking taunting them when they go down on the sidelines. Come
Yeah.
on, dude.
I don't like
Grow
how-
a pair of nuts.
Plus, hasn't said anything about Juju until now. Now that the Browns win and start doing Corvette, it's a big thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and also like the Browns probably wouldn't have said anything if Juju didn't say what he said. So
I know.
maybe he realized that your team's the one starting this shit.
Right.
Fucking idiot.
Adding on to that, though, I will get after Claypool. OBJ may have fucked the Browns, though.
Oh, dude, don't call it a shot. Like, come on, man.
Ah, dude, he did it. He
I
pulled
know.
exactly what Juju just pulled. You just said it. Like, you just watched what happened when you call shit like that, and then he comes out and says it.
Well, the way
wasn't-
the way he worded it, it was more or less like, don't be
Don't sleep
surprised if
on the
they-
Browns.
Yeah, don't sleep on them. Don't be surprised if they come out and win, because it's a. I feel like there was a dot because it's a possibility. I
He
feel
didn't say
yeah.
if they come out and win. He said, don't be surprised when they come out and win.
If he said when, then they're fucked. But if he said if they come out and win,
He
this
said
game,
when.
then there's a
Fucking
you know,
replay.
Yeah. That I mean, and it's also not like as much of a hey, the other team sucks and they're a
Right,
bunch of
right.
nameless
He's just
gray
talking about
faces. Like,
That's fair. That's fair.
yeah, like
He's just, I get what he's coming across, but I just
he's
think the timing's
jinxing
bad.
the Browns, but he's
Browns
not
is the
inciting an inferno
Browns.
under the Chiefs.
yeah, I know.
So
Chris is right. It was, in fact, a win. Don't be surprised this weekend when they win. Just throwing it out there now.
Yeah, but there are
Your chances are
Sorry,
getting slimmer,
James. I'm
Jimbo.
sorry. I'm sorry, buddy.
I still agree. I don't think it's as egregious as like they're gray blobs, like Drew said. But I just don't like that, like omen.
And especially when you're not on the field, like
Yeah.
you have no bearing over the outcome of this game.
Uh-huh.
Just
It would've been
maybe
really
don't be so fucking cocky with you and your busted ACL.
Yeah, I know. It just would have been really funny though if he came out and was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna put up 10, 122 touchdowns. Don't be surprised when we come out and win." And then he's just like, "Oh wait, I can't play," because that's something OBJ would do. He'd be that cocky to like throw it out there and be like, "Wait,
Well,
I'm
that's the
broken.
thing. He shouldn't
This
have said
gonna be
anything
my
if he's
stat
not going to
line.
be on the
Oh
field
wait,
contributing.
fuck.
I'm broken."
If he shouldn't have said anything to begin with, especially he's
100%.
not contributing at all because he's on the sideline. So why?
And I mean, if he wanted to say what he said, even if he said "if," like that's a whole different
Yes,
statement.
it is. Like I
Like-
said, there's an unwritten like because it's a possibility thing if you use the word if rather than when. I really think that's the case.
Right. Saying don't be surprised if they come out and win is just like, hey, they still got a chance. They're still in this thing.
Right, exactly.
Don't be surprised when they come out and win is, hey, they're gonna win against the best team in the league for the last 3 years.
2 years.
I think they were the best team in the league year before that, but that's fine.
I mean, who won the Super Bowl?
I don't care.
James is staring to the abyss now because he just
The
realized
Eagles won the Super Bowl 4 years ago, Zach. They were not the best team in the league. The best team in the league does not always win the Super Bowl.
All right.
Man, knock my mic again. I don't even know what to interject with in this conversation.
All you
think
need to say, James, is that, hey Zach, IDK, say some hockey stuff, and I'll go, all right, I got you.
So yeah, for those of you who don't know, I know enough, not a lot, or more than a lot. So in our notes for the show today, I wrote, Zach, say hockey stuff. Zach had nothing ready. He's definitely gonna be ready though, because that's how I believe him.
I'm already ready. I already know what I'm
But before we get to that, let's talk about the other winter sport going on. Drew, take it a fucking way, guy.
All right, let's talk about a little basketball. We talking hoops today, boys. And the number one kind of conversation right now in the whole NBA is about COVID, but the Celtics are a decimated team right now. They've had game after game postponed. This is looking worse than almost any other sport did last year for the NBA right now.
And
They're the fucking
we liked what they were doing last year too in the bubble, but
Yeah, and that was a great idea. I don't know why you decide to up and abandon that now when things are just as bad, if not worse.
well, I have to say though, not that I want anyone to get COVID because that's fucked, but if it was inevitable, it's better that it happened now rather than later because they all get out of their system. They have immunity. When the shots come around, everyone will be fine. Hopefully everyone's all right. But, if this shit keeps going on and they're still adamant on playing a season and they're going to be adamant on the way that they want it, it's good that the Celtics have gotten it before, I guess, earlier in the season. I'm just trying to think of an upside here. I mean, it sucks that they have it. It sucks that anyone gets COVID, but
You'd rather get it in the preseason than play.
well, yeah, obviously, you'd rather get it in the preseason rather than the playoffs. Like Don
The
just said.
NBA is like the toughest one too because obviously, I mean, these guys are paid millions of dollars. Granted, all sports are, but I feel like NBA has the most outgoing like players per se. Like they're the ones that go out to clubs and stuff like constantly. And a lot of them are doing the right thing, but if it is inevitable, especially, the sweat and everything dripping, when you're on that kind of confined space playing, if one person has it and they don't catch it, you have potentially, I don't know how many lines each team is running, but every teammate could potentially get it from sweat dripping off,
That's the thing with basketball is it's played with smaller teams in a smaller area.
Yeah.
So in a practice, if someone has it and they don't know it, and all of a sudden they test positive the next day, and everyone that was in practice basically had a close contact.
Exactly.
In football, you break off in your position groups. You only, are hitting one or two people.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot easier to control in that kind of environment. But when you got 12 guys on a team and they're all standing right next to each other on the court,
Yeah.
it's almost impossible. And that brings me to my little segmentception here is little panic button action. Is it time to panic on the NBA season?
No.
Do we think they're going to have to shut it down? Because I think it's a very real possibility.
All right. Well, are you hitting the panic button, Drew?
No, I'm discussing hitting the panic button.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, think about this. How many games have already been postponed?
More than anyone wants to admit.
Right. So yes, it is time to hit the panic button. I mean, I'll hit the panic button. That's fine. You know, boop. There you go. Panic button.
Can I ask a question?
Wah, wah.
What was the reasoning for not doing a bubble again?
It's a lot to ask for a full season.
I
And
completely agree.
bubble, right?
I
The
didn't know
reason
if there
the
was
bubble
like an
is just
official
the playoffs.
ruling on why they didn't. Did the union speak out and say like we're not having our players do that again? And
I'm not sure. They also may not have been able to secure a spot for it for that amount of time.
Right.
But
Because yeah.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, you have to think about it. Like, if they're gonna play in a bubble, it's easier to play in a bubble for the playoffs. I mean, it's what, like maybe a month and a half.
and it's less
Playing a
teams.
full season, all 30 teams, right? Or 32. I'm always confused on the amount of teams. 30. All 30 teams in one spot. You have to find housing for, you know, I'm gonna say you're getting like 30 people a team. It's ridiculous. You can't house all those people for that amount of time. It's just not gonna happen.
And then you had all the issues with, the food that they were able to serve them and XYZ. It's
Yep.
like,
BJ.
are you going to be able to feed these professional athletes from all 30 teams for a full season? No.
God no.
Here's my point. Are you going to be able to contain, even if I'm not just talking about NBA athletes, but you're going to be able to contain athletes? They already snuck people in last year.
For the playoffs, when they're only there for like a month or two.
We be horny as men. That's what we do.
It's a fact. Cannot argue.
No. Nope. Spot. I've spotted no lie. The lie detector has not.
Lie to spot.
I'm also not wearing pants right now, just so you know. I figured this would be a great time to bring that up.
What?
oh, it's your dick.
Oh, you want it?
Use it as a dick insult.
Dude, the other news.
Show me what you got.
The panic button stuff. For fuck's sake. I'm willing
Disqualified.
to tickle the panic button. I'm not ready to smack that shit down yet.
Yeah, no, I hit it.
Zach, you smacked that shit. You destroyed it right through the glass plating over it. Bam!
Didn't even lift it. I was just like, deal or no deal? Hit it again.
Nobody got time to be lifting glass cases.
Nah, ain't nobody got time for that.
So, do we blame the NBA though? They definitely pushed the season,
Yes.
Almost too early. They started it too early, and now they didn't have a full-on plan. And now look what happens. So, what do you expect?
Bubbles.
What?
You just realized that? Did you not change your name?
Who?
Oh my god.
I just changed that.
Yeah, I said yes, Chris. How did you know? I love bubbles.
Oh,
That's all I said.
I didn't hear you. That's why I said what.
All right.
Some of us are deaf in the room. Thank you.
Yes, I know. I know. All right. Well,
Nice.
back to your point since I so rudely interrupted you. All right,
Oh,
great, Chris.
me?
Forget the point.
Point being is the NBA pushed the season. They wanted to get back on track, so they pushed the start of the season too quick. And now we have Carl Anthony Towns has coronavirus.
That's my favorite center. That sucks. His mom died of COVID last year.
I think his grandmother did too. I think he had a couple people in his family die from COVID, and that's terrible. That
So
poor guy.
I mean, they're getting it left and right. You got to shut it down. You have to.
I
And
mean,
like you said, I wish if you had it and got it over with, especially these healthy players, I wish that was the case, but we don't know. Like, it sounds like some people are starting to get it again. And even though you have immunity, you still have to be careful and watch out. Like, it's tough. We've had heart complications from people with it, like, what the fuck do you expect?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's really worth playing it at this point, but I don't think we're going to see any major sports shy away from trying to get their season in, especially with how rocky the start of the MLB season was last year and how they were able to persevere through that. I think that's kind of going to be a little bit of a beacon.
See,
Again,
that's
it's
why I'm questioning
sport,
this, though, is because the NBA had the time and the stats to show what it was like last season, and then they still pushed the season, you know?
Yeah.
Like, they had a game Christmas Day. They knew most states projected that around Christmas time, that week between Christmas and New Year's, people were going to start being around people and that coronavirus would spike again. And that's exactly what happened. And the NBA still had games going, and like football was kind of already in the middle, so they were handling it as it was. But the NBA, I don't know.
Yeah, and again, they have a different kind of set of difficulties, and I'm not super opposed to trying to push through it as long as the players are cool with that, as long as they had an option of whether or not they wanted to be subjected to that. But at some point, there is going to come a time where they have to seriously look at it and say, yeah, we have to make a choice right now.
Plus, they're monitoring players more than they ever have. We posted a blog a couple weeks ago, not a blog, just a post about it, that they're starting to put trackers on players. So if it measures how far you are from other players, it says that it doesn't measure location, that it doesn't track location, but I highly doubt that. They just don't want to release that because it's going to...
I don't see why that would matter if they're wearing it like on a jersey or something. Like
exposure. I mean, it's been said that they only wear it practice. They don't wear it on the court, but they wear it from like to and from games, practice, locker rooms. I don't know. But the point being is they have these things in place to kind of monitor exposure for players, and they're still getting exposed and people are still coming down with it. So they're kind of at a loss.
It's just the nature of what it is. It's hard to detect on a dime, and sometimes you don't know you have it for a week and you expose your entire team and some others, and it really is the hardest challenge that professional sports has had to face from an outside perspective.
Yep. So I agree. It's hard to handle and it's hard to do, but it's just I think the biggest thing for me, like I already said, is the fact that we have it in the books that NFL made it this far. MLB season, even though it was rocky at the start, but that was literally in May. So that was right when COVID kind of started happening. The NHL was a little wacky, but it happened.
And the thing with the NHL is that they did a bubble and they also realigned their divisions so that way that the travel would be contained. So, if you have a team that, say, the Bruins go to Washington, D.C., and they get COVID, it's just those teams that are traveling to Washington, so they know what teams to look out for. Yeah. But if you have the Kings coming over to Washington, D.C., and then they travel to Vancouver, then it's everywhere. I mean, you know what I mean? So...
Yeah,
I agree with that. I think that's a
NHL
really good
idea.
Sat down and figured it out and said, "This is how we're going to do it."
I mean, it sucks for the Bruins because it's literally the division of death. But
I think the Bruins have a shot.
I don't think they're going to be as good as you think they're going to be, unfortunately, this year.
All right, before we talk Bruins, you want to talk about this James Harden trade before we really?
Yeah, we should.
We definitely should.
Why is there just a present on the notes? Is that?
That was my segmentception.
So the gift we're gonna give you, Zach.
It's a gift.
It is a box of shit.
So panic button segment in the middle of BOTA News. It was a little present.
James Harden is finally on the Brooklyn Nets. Kyrie Irving is MIA, and in that whole thing, that whole swirl, I had it up and now it's gone. That's great. That's sick. How you guys doing? Good. Cool. Yeah. So Victor Oladipo ends up going to the Rockets, which I actually love, and Karis LeVert ends up on the Pacers. So they kind of got a good swap on what?
They did, but I've been hearing news that Oladipo might get traded again.
Yeah, that's kind of how the NBA works. It's really weird.
That's kind of how Victor Oladipo works. He's always been a journeyman, 3 seconds in one city, and then.
Would you like to see Victor Oladipo on the Celtics if they could get him at a fair price?
Nah, I don't think they'll get him at a fair price.
He doesn't have the skill set that the Celtics need right now. The Celtics
I'm
have
just curious,
other
'cause I've
weaknesses
seen
that
rumors going out that they might want to trade for him.
I don't see.
Obviously after
I
Harden.
don't know if I'm sold on him coming to the Seas.
No, it would change the chemistry of the team too.
Yeah.
And Oladipo's kind of been a budding star lately, which is why it's kind of surprising that he's been shipped around so much.
Yeah, I don't get it.
But clearly there's something going on there, so I'd rather him not make a stop in Boston.
Yeah. I think it's literally just because of the age. I mean, he's 28, but like in NBA years, that's fucking huge considering most players come in at 19 or 20.
Yeah, but I mean,
Dude, I know. Hey, I love Oladipo, but I think every side won this except for the Nets. I think the Nets selling their future on a rental player is fucking moronic. But for the Rockets to be able to ship a star who didn't want to be there, get a player who's decent enough to fill the gap, and get picks out of it, stellar.
Well,
yeah,
let's not forget this is not something that the Nets are afraid of doing. So
No, the Nets are historically
the
bad.
Nets are historically into just buying up fading superstars.
and I mean, I think it's something that's been an interesting kind of thought of James Harden and KD playing together again. I mean, it would be even funnier to see Russell Westbrook end up over there somehow.
God,
But
the way that ended up.
KC reunion, baby. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting. They have potential to be a powerhouse this year if Kyrie would start showing up. But
Allegedly, he's supposed to be playing tomorrow, but we'll find out. He's faced a $50K fine already.
good. Fuck that guy.
Fuck that dude. Hey, Zach,
Yo,
talk to us about some hockey.
no.
Okay, that's hockey
No, I'm
talk.
kidding. I mean, it's been we've had some good games so far. Obviously, our Bruins are 1-0 in the shootout against the Devils. Fuck you, Mike. There were some good games already. Some like save of the year candidates already. Fuck, I forget who was it last night. It was the Flames goalie, I believe.
The one we posted?
Yeah, the one we posted.
Yeah.
Tuukka Rask has already played well in one game, but you know how that's going to last for us. It looks like Mike Hoffman. I didn't even realize Mike Hoffman went to the Blues, but he's going to make his Blues debut tonight against the Avalanche, so that is good. Penguins Flyers already is as entertaining as advertised. They're playing again tonight, I believe. So we get a nice little rematch of that.
Ooh.
Yes. Also, if anyone has noticed, the Iron Man Keith Yandle's 866 game streak is about to end, unfortunately.
No, really?
866 consecutive games played in his career.
That's just nuts.
That's nuts. Yeah. I mean, it's literally Iron Man. Sergei Bobrovsky is not playing tonight. Who the fuck cares? Whatever. And last little bit of news. Obviously, Mark Stone. I don't know if those of you that don't know, Mark Stone was named captain of the Golden Knights. He went out on T-Mobile Arena on the ice. Charlie Diddle's nice. And waved to an empty crowd. It was actually pretty funny. It was a good video. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. But that's all the NHL news I have. Yeah, Chris, sorry, Seymour Butts, you got anything?
I mean, other than that, I mean, hockey's back, like you said. Bruins looked solid last night.
All right.
I'd like to speak more about this division. You think this is going to be an impossible division for the Bruins?
Yeah, I don't. It's not impossible. It's just the division of death. I mean,
I agree with that. They
the
definitely
Bruins,
shook
the
it up.
Flyers, the Capitals, the Penguins, the Islanders. Did I already say the Flyers? Bruins, Capitals, Penguins, Flyers, Islanders. Carolina, I believe, is in the other division. That's 5.
That's some 2014 World Cup Group D bullshit.
No, like literally, it is. They have the best point percentage in the league as a division by like an entire percentage point. But like I'm talking like it's like 0.585 like percent win percentage. The rest of the divisions are like 0.3 or like 0.43 or something like that.
Islanders, Flyers, Capitals, Bruins, Devils, Sabres, Penguins, Rangers.
Oh yeah, I mean, not to forget about the Rangers, but I mean, you know, they're going to be all right this year. But I mean, you still have to deal with Artemi Panarin, and they still have Alexis Lafreniere, I believe is how you say his name. Not very good with French names. So I mean, you know, we've seen number 1 overall picks just become absolute stars in their first year. Connor McDavid, Austin Matthews. So I mean, if they get that, they have Panarin and Lafreniere, who's going to be, I think, is going to be up there with them. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be really tough for the Bruins to win that division. I think they have a spot in the playoffs for them. I think they're going to stick around in that division, but I don't know. It's going to be tough. It's going to be either them, I think, or the Flyers that win that division, because the Flyers are really up and coming. So.
It's top 4 for me, so make it on.
Game 7 against 16. The Flyers. I'll wait for it.
Is it just me? This might just be an outside perspective thing. Why does Canada look so bad? The North Division.
Because the North Division is dog shit. That's why.
Okay, good. I was right.
When you have a Toronto team that is poised to win the division and is probably going to end up not winning that division because Vancouver might win that division, you know it's dog shit. Toronto has perennially come up short in the Atlantic Division, and for them to go to a division which they should win because on paper they're the best team in that division, I know that they're not going to win that division. They're going to fucking choke it away.
Well, and not to take anything away from Vancouver, they've done some impressive things recently, and they put together a hell of a year last year.
Yeah, so. And let's not forget they just
give me the fucking Kraken.
Okay, I mean, let's not forget they traded for Braden Holtby. So I mean, you're getting a bona fide all-star. Not that Jakob Markstrom was bad by any means, but I mean, I think Braden Holtby, obviously Stanley Cup winning goalie, has won the Vezina. He just brings a different element to that team. I think he elevates that team. And, you know, they won a playoff series last year against the Blues, against this defending Stanley Cup champions. And you're adding, you know, what I obviously would say is a better goaltender. So it's great. I think they're primed for that division.
Yes.
Oh.
No, it's going to be interesting to see the shakeup, though. I really like that they redid the divisions. It really shakes the league up. I think we're going to see a lot of different things that we haven't really seen in the last couple of years. But
yeah, it's fun. It almost feels like a video game where you're realigning divisions and shit. And
it's really cool.
Yeah, it's going to produce. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I've always been excited about relocation and expansion and division realignment and just things that change the dynamics of the sport for that league and
shake it up.
So let's talk about this before we move on to college football. Universal DH.
I am all for it.
Oh, you are? I thought we had this conversation before and you said you didn't like it.
I'm all in on universal DH.
I am too.
From a traditionalist standpoint, I guess it would just kind of be weird, but dude, there's no point in making these poor pitchers that haven't picked up a bat since their freshman year of college fucking get up there in a major league batter's box and strike out 30 times a year. That's just mean. Let someone that knows how to swing a bat swing the bat.
Yeah.
Drew, you remember that home run. You know Bartolo slams.
And don't get me wrong, there's that game that Clayton Kershaw pitched a shutout and then hit a home run in like the bottom of the 9th inning to walk. It was like he did the entire game by himself. Doesn't Jake
DeGrom have a couple too?
Yeah, there are some pitchers that actually know their way around the stick. But
Josh Beckett used to be good at that too.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously it's a lot of National League pitchers, but every once in a while you get an American League pitcher that goes over to the National League for a series and just bashes. So
Johnny, fuck that guy.
Dude, it is honestly such a shame that he did not end up in the National League. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
How do you feel about the National League where pitchers hit, Drew? I've always wondered that, and I've just never even asked you.
Like, just in general about
your general opinion, because I'm on the fence about it because I think it sucks for American League pitchers when they go and play a National League team because they adapt to it, and then you get someone that can't even swing the bat, like you just said, up at the plate. And you can't pinch them because unless you put a relief or a closer in that can hit.
Well, I mean, you can. Oh, yeah. I think it comes with upsides and downsides. I think the American League gets the upside of having a DH spot, which allows you to essentially rest somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So, you got your outfield and you have one DH. You can always mix and match to get some extra rest here and there. But I don't know. It's what I grew up with. It's what everyone grew up with. It's how baseball is.
100%. But also, I mean, when you're in the major leagues, you're throwing 95 miles an hour. What do they do in the dugout? For the American League, they're resting their arm, they're icing it, they got a coat on, something. It's a little different when you're throwing that speed and you're really tearing your arm up while you're out there.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a lot to ask. If by chance the pitcher manages to get on base, asking him to run the bases is a whole extra, potentially lot of work.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like it would be just better overall for player morale, player health, player everything is if there was a universal DH. It takes the strain off of National League pitchers and allows National League teams to, again, give some players some rest when they normally wouldn't because you need that bat in the lineup.
Mm-hmm.
This might be one of my softest takes I've ever done because it's not like anything super like spicy, but I feel like whenever you're talking about an NL pitcher, you're just kind of talking about a sacrificial lamb. You're either using them to bunt to advance or it's almost a guaranteed out.
Yeah, in most cases, if there are less than 2 outs and a guy on base, he's bunting.
Yeah, it's
almost 100% of the time.
I mean, that's the thing is that, granted, as you guys were just saying, there's some pitchers that hit that ball here and there, but you're not relying on your pitcher to make that play in that clutch spot. Your regular lineup is those people that can bat, and then you get to 9 and you have your pitcher, and it's kind of like, well, shit, if we're 2 outs, men on base, what do you do?
And I mean, in the National League, then you can start talking about double switches and changing the order
I mean,
where
you
the
can,
pitchers
but
in the line. I mean, there are strategies, but it makes National League baseball endlessly more complicated than American League baseball. And that's always something that I liked about National League baseball. I liked the extra, strategy factor of, how can I work this and when should I pull the double switch?
But the situation has to be right too.
Right.
That's the thing. It's like it's hard when that situation is right.
And the specific times that come to mind is, when you're in a tight game, when it's, 1-1 and your pitcher's pitching a gem. And it's the 7th inning. You're like, do we want to let him go another? You plan on letting him go another one, but he's coming up 3rd in the lineup. You got guys on 1st and 3rd. 2 outs. It's like it creates some very interesting dilemmas.
I feel like, honestly, though, either the 6th, 7th, or 8th inning is like the only time you can pull that double switch, though, because if your pitcher's doing good and he's already in the 6th or the 7th. If your starting pitcher is most likely in by the 6th or 7th, he's doing pretty good. I mean, even if it's a relief at that point, if you're pulling that double switch, you got to have everything aligned right, or else you're really fucking yourself.
Yes and no. I mean, the biggest advantage to the double switch is just changing where the pitcher is batting in the order. So if you move the pitcher's spot back up the order a little bit to where you just were, and they're not going to get up for another 2 or 3 innings, then it's a little less painful. You just have to execute it right. And that's an interesting topic when it comes to management in the NL and if they look for specific things in managers on one league versus the other, which I would imagine they would, because it would be pretty hard going from the AL to the NL management wise, not having any experience with that kind of stuff. So also, Rafael Devers just re-signed with the Red Sox to avoid salary arbitration. Yes, sir.
Thank God.
I know, about time.
Yeah.
I saw that he was heading towards arbitration, and I was like, fuck.
They sorted Juan Soto for the Nats was in the same boat. They sorted that out too.
Devers is a guy you got to keep on high.
That's the thing with the Red Sox, the way they've been playing, or not even playing, how they're managing it. I'm so afraid of arbitration for so many players now. Like last year, it was between Benny and Mookie. And I was like, how do you get rid of Jackie? And they kept Jackie and Benny. And I was like, get rid of Jackie, get rid of JBJ and keep Mookie and Benny.
And I'd even get rid of Benintendi to keep Mookie.
I disagree.
Really?
I disagree. I wish they kept Brock Holt too, but that's a different story.
I also wish that Brock Holt pitched a couple innings last year, by the
Yeah,
way. Didn't
he's
know
fucking
that.
amazing. That man can do anything.
I love Brock Holt. I do miss Brock Holt. I used to really like Andrew Benintendi. Then he got really stale really fast and just became an average player.
I mean, once again, same story as JBJ, though. He was decent defensively. I mean,
Well. JBJ is arguably one of the best defensive outfielders of the last decade. So
fair.
At least you're getting major upside there. Benintendi was hit or miss sometimes in the field, and he's always hit or miss at the plate.
Oh, yeah. He had like a 130 something to finish the year last year.
Right. And not that everyone's not hit or miss at the plate. That's literally the game. But I just don't see the value in keeping those two guys over Mookie. I would gladly get rid of both of them and more to have Mookie back.
Well,
it's hard because I like Benny. I think he has a lot of way to go up too. I think he'll shine, but I would have done anything to have Mookie back. So I agree where I'd rather get rid of both of them and keep Mookie. But for some reason, the Sox love dealing outfielders. I mean, right now in the offseason, they're talking about moving more outfielders. Like, figure everything else the fuck out. You already have 8 outfielders.
Well, it depends on what they mean by moving outfielders. If they're moving outfielders off of the team to bring in some pitching, then that's fantastic. But if they're just bringing in depth outfielders for absolutely no reason,
that's what they're doing. 2 weeks ago, they signed 3 outfielders.
Your deals.
Like, why? I bring in that depth that you need, and now we're not even sure about our pitchers because last year was such a clusterfuck.
Pitchers.
I'm a little less optimistic about the pitching than that, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
but
it's bad.
I think that has to be first priority. Anything else right now is superfluous unless you go out and make some ridiculous move. If you went out and traded for Josh Bell like the Nationals did, or you went out and did something like, oh shit, like that's a win now piece.
Right.
And we know what Chaim Bloom is. We know what he does, and gotta have a little faith in the system to start. I guess this is the path that has been chosen for Red Sox fans.
I know.
Kind of just gotta let it play out, and it does. But that's because we're a big market team. We're not used to being like this. I mean, I guess the Red Sox more than a lot of our other teams have had their down years. But that's the nature of baseball. So if they can build up a farm system, and I mean, it's embarrassing. We have no farm system for the last 2 or 3 years. We got rid of all of it to win the World Series in 2018. And all well and good, but we took pride in having one of the best farm systems in the league. And now it's literally nothing. So if he can rebuild the farm system and let us, have a pool of players that have major league potential to pick from and mix and match and just see what works, I think that's the best strategy in baseball, man, because you never know. You could go out and get a superstar and they could hit 230 next year. You never know. So if you have a replenishing pool of young players that you can continually draw from and experiment with and watch play in the minor leagues, I think that's the right way to go in today's baseball.
I haven't got a call yet, so the farm system's still bad.
We still never received a call from Dallas, so I don't feel too bad.
Come on, man.
The BOTA boys are 0 for 2 in major leagues.
I'm pretty confident I could play better than Mitch Trubisky too. So Chicago, I hate you, but holla at your boy.
Yeah, but can you win the Nickelodeon trophy?
Fuck yeah. I'll take home MVP just by sitting in the end zone twiddling myself. That's what he did.
What was he up against? It was him and Cam Jordan, and someone else.
Yeah.
Don't forget his stat line that game was like 180, 1 touchdown, and a pick, and a whole bunch of really bad throws.
So,
real bad
in the college football, but I want to bring this up since we're already talking about the Bears. The Bears are primed to draft Trey Lance. Trey Lance is the biggest one-read quarterback I've seen coming out of the draft in the past 3 years. Get ready for another failure in Chicago.
Hey, can't wait for that.
Sorry, Chicago.
What do the scouts see though? Why would you, if you know that, like clearly you're saying that, so you see it. These scouts look at these players all fucking year, and then they're like, "Yeah, this is the guy."
And get paid shitloads of money to do it.
Well, this should have been the year he had to change that rhetoric, but we don't know. What we saw in his one game is that he looked kind of the same. He balled out, but what else? I mean,
college football.
Yeah. Like he had his one read when it was gone. He ran. That's what you got with Trey Lance.
And that don't fly in the NFL, man.
I mean, he could be better than I think. And I obviously said that about Justin Herbert coming into this draft. Not the one read thing. I said I didn't think he was going to be great, but that was more of a gambler aspect. But I think just pure mechanics, I think Trey Lance is going to be a flop. So we'll see if that one sticks.
Fair.
But since we're talking about it, Drew, do you want to take college football or want me to go for it and then you take segments?
Oh, college football is your thing, dude.
Oh, I know. I just feel like I'm monopolizing it, Drew. I don't want to leave you on an island.
You're all good, brother.
All right. So the biggest story is we had our college football final. Alabama smacked the shit out of Ohio State. Not a shock. Everyone kind of saw that one coming. Ohio State just got outperformed on every level of it. And I mean, you can look at the box score in this and say like, oh, well, like through the first two, I mean, it was 17-35. So it's not like it was like that much of a blowout. Alabama was scoring with ease. Ohio State had to legitimately try. You could see them forcing plays and like trying to score and trying to force touchdowns. Alabama just naturally moved down the field.
It was one of those games where from the beginning there was really no question to who was going to win. Just the way that Alabama came out and, like you said, just able to score at will, especially with Devontae Smith. Like, what are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to fucking do? Najee Harris and Devontae Smith on the other side of the football. You're fucked, dude. I'm sorry, but there's no answer for that.
And you're also talking about an Alabama team where Ohio State could have done something. I mean, their defense, although good, has probably been the worst Alabama defense we've seen in a few years.
Oh,
but their offense was master. It was a masterpiece of offensive work. It was
100%
fucking unbelievable. And Mac Jones is about to get drafted high because of it. Awful. But
AJ McCarron part 2.
Oh, dude, you don't even know. I said this last time, I think, but I called him Diet Phillip Rivers. I think to Dom, Zach, Diet Phillip Rivers almost fits him exactly. So get ready for that coming into the draft this year. Congratulations, Zach and Chris, your quarterback, Mac Jones.
That's Stafford. I'm banking on Stafford because it's the only way out.
Dude, if he ends up on the Patriots, I'm crying.
I can't wait for draft night. This is going to be so much fun.
Yeah, it is.
Fuck you.
If I physically sit there and watch Bill Belichick draft Mac Jones
In the first round?
in the first round, I would rather him trade out of the first round, go to Roger Goodell, beg for his third round pick back, draft fucking Scooby McJones in the sixth round, knowing that he's a better prospect than Mac Jones.
With all the good prospects out there, who's going to take Mac Jones? And I love it. I love it. It's so dumb, and I love
Can
it.
we go to a bar and watch it again and wait 3 hours for a fucking beer?
I fucking love that the only alternative name
times.
Zach could come up with for Jones was Mick Jones.
Dude, it's Matt Stafford. Just stop. Matt Stafford's coming to the Pats.
I hope it's just Watson, but it's going to be Mac Jones.
I hope you know we're going to make a BOTA franchise now, and our starting quarterback is going to be Scooby McJones.
BOTA Gaming Channel, boys.
And we're going to make him exactly like Mac Jones, except we're going to give him 99 stats. Okay.
Can we do Fat Mac Jones, though?
Yeah,
Like,
that's Scooby McJones right there.
Yeah.
That's Big Mac Jones.
Big Mac Jones. I love it.
Okay, what other points did I have about this game? Jalen Waddle playing was awful for his career. You have nothing to prove. Just fucking sit out.
I love how everyone was tweeting during the game. Dude, sit the fuck down. Like what Shaq tweeted, LeBron tweeted, like
Alabama fans, everyone
was like, why are you doing this right now?
Like, we're up 2 touchdowns and you're going to come out there and limp around? Like, guy, come on. Rest. You have the NFL draft coming up. the annoying thing about it is you're going to see a combination of 3 teams for the next few years. It's going to be Ohio State, it's going to be Alabama, it's going to be Clemson. It's the difference between being a team and a program in college football. They're just going to continually cycle in good talent. Alabama already has the first draft or number 1 draft class for 2021. Ohio State, I believe, is still sitting at 2, and Clemson, I'm sure, is top 5. So guess what? It's just going to be an endless wheel of just pumping out talent.
As college football tends to be.
Yeah. Once you get those wheels turning, man, you can't stop it. Nick Saban's been going for fucking how long? In the past.
I mean, that's purely because college football is all about brand recognition and all about selling your school to the coming high school class. It's
Yeah.
Hey,
And
Megan,
when
how's South Carolina doing right now?
About the same as the Pats.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, self-burn, Megan, self-burn.
Yeah, I think friendly fire was turned on for both of you guys there.
Yeah, that's all right. I mean, I understand the Patriots are bad, but she also just self-incriminated herself. So I mean,
Well, I know they're not good. We fired our coach mid-season.
Was Megan supporting an NFL
did.
team?
Megan Sports a dog pound, baby. Oh, Megan, give
Oh,
me a
then
howl.
she has no right to talk.
oh hey Megan, by the way, Megan, I love how I gave you my girlfriend's number and then you just like didn't have the courtesy to text her. That's just like really rude.
Fast track me and Dom's relationship. I gotta wire and diner first.
I'm sorry. You know what? You're right. I'll
such chivalry.
I'll let it go naturally. Like whenever it happens, happens. You know, James, me and you, we're already doing butt stuff anyways. It's natural. So
Drew, kick some sex, my guy.
So, I believe, enjoy my paused face for a brief moment.
I will. Wow, what a nice face. So much pause.
wow, much pause.
Why are you so happy?
I mean, I feel like we kind of already covered our little master debaters topic that we had on tap.
Yeah, kind of. We'd rather be Salah, I'd say. Oh
Yeah,
wait, have more. Oh no, which coach is going to have a bigger impact?
Yeah.
I would. Yeah, I think we all
Salah.
Salah, yeah, because we don't think.
Underrated, I'm going to take Arthur Smith. I think Salah is the right answer. I think the coaching staff they're bringing into the New York Jets organization is fantastic. But I think Arthur Smith is about to do great things for the Falcons franchise.
Well, that's not on this. It was between Meyer and Salah.
They won with Salah.
Okay, Chris, the first rule of the BOTA Show is that there are no rules. It's my fucking show, and if you ever interject yourself like that again, I swear, I'm kidding. I love you.
You just created a rule on your no rule show.
Yeah. How does that work? Kind of a catch-22, no?
I also think this is
Catch 4.
James's show right now, but that's okay.
Drew,
Well, technically, it's James Andrew's show right now.
Hey, Zach, let's play a game. You pick a card. If you pick the card, you lose.
Oh no! No, we're playing fours.
Hey, if you get a 4, you lose. If you don't get a 4, you
you
lose.
lose. But if I get a 4, I win. But if you get a 4 and I get a 4, we both lose. Yay, fours. Fucking at drunk James.
Drew, were you there for that?
Yep.
Yeah, he was there.
Oh, dude, we got to play some more multiples of 4 sometime.
Oh, it was multiples of 4. I thought it was multiples of 4.
I'll get hammered and I'll remember the rules and
Oh man, we have
Remember
to
the
fucking
rules. What
hang
fucking
out
rules do you have
soon,
to
dude.
remember?
Holy shit!
Drew, are you not gonna be here Sunday with everyone? Or
I don't know. I might have to
Oh,
work.
you still don't know your schedule, right?
Wait,
No.
it's Sunday?
Yes.
You told me Saturday.
No.
let's figure this out off, Mike.
I'll be there tomorrow.
Yeah, you will. I know.
Wait, so is that it?
I don't really know what else to say about that. I mean, I think we've covered that pretty extensively, actually. So
Well, fuck it. Let's rip open the trash bag. Who do we got?
let's do it. Well, there's nothing in there yet. Let's throw some stuff in there.
All right.
Aaron Rodgers because he can't win an MVP.
In a game that didn't even play, and yeah,
He's over. Oh, Mitch Trubisky's 1 for 1. Mitch Trubisky's better quarterback according to Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon most valuable player.
Dude, Drew Brees had an endlessly better game.
Yeah, but he didn't win MVP.
Oh yeah, we never even
The fact
talked
that
about
they
it.
gave that award out, and who? First of all, what were the options? Only those three? Were they just like, yeah, we're just gonna like pick random players on the field? Oh, Mitch Trubisky, yeah, that sounds good.
No, I think you could vote for pretty much anyone, but I'm guessing a lot of kids were just like, oh, that name looks fucking hilarious. Let's vote for that guy.
Yeah, they were probably like, huh, his mom probably wants him called Mitchell. Let's call him Mitch. Fuck that guy.
No. It's definitely a like planned thing where everyone's like, "Yo, go vote for Mitch Trubisky right now.
Right.
Win this fucking trophy."
They didn't even give him the trophy, I
All
don't
the
think.
sponsors are just showing up at the door. If you vote for Mitch, we'll give you free candy.
I'm gonna put that statement in the fucking trash bag.
All right. Fair
Whole
enough.
statement. Straight on in.
Man,
Listen, sponsors will do anything to get people votes. I'm just saying.
somebody else throw something in the fucking trash.
The Pittsburgh Steelers are going in the trash bag.
There you go. Yeah, right in the trash bag. On top of
Just-
that, Juju and Chase both separately into the trash bag.
TikTok boy, woo!
Oh man, that team is fucked.
Hey, elbow.
Endlessly fucked.
Is that a thing you're doing now, Chris?
You missed it. You had to be there.
You had to be there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No.
All right.
Somebody
Super
put
Mega
something in the
Baseball
fucking-
2,
I already did.
motherfucker.
I contributed.
I put two.
I
Mac
put the
Jones.
Steelers in the bag. I put a whole team in the bag.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Juju for the whole fucking 52 man.
Whole franchise.
You know what, Drew? Drew, you're gonna put a whole team. I'm gonna raise you NBA in the trash bag.
Damn.
Yeah, you heard me. In the bag.
I mean, the only logical conclusion to go from here is sports in the trash.
All of them.
Oh no!
The entire human race in the trash bag.
The observable universe in the trash. That is one laws of physics breaking trash bag, man.
Force flex.
We only use Glad Force Flex for our BOTA trash bags.
Really?
Oh God,
This
man.
is it's not a force.
Please sponsor us, Glad. Please sponsor this segment.
If we get a fucking email from Glad, we're like, we need you.
Oh, no. You know what it's gonna be. It's gonna be like, hi, saw you using our name on the show. Please stop. Or we will find you.
Cease and desist
Never mention me
immediately.
again.
Don't you ever mention the force flex. That was experimental technology. It was never meant for human consumption.
You don't know its full capabilities.
Don't understand.
Just how did you figure out the full capabilities of the Force Flex?
Oh my God.
That's a good ass quote right there.
I
How
think
did
we have a
you figure
title for
out
this
the full
episode.
capabilities of the force flex.
The powers of force flex.
The untold
Your
powers.
tiny human brain will never
Unlocking-
understand the full power.
Unlocking the capabilities of Glad Force Flex. Yeah.
Amazing. Oh, this is great.
Oh,
God, I love this show.
I don't know. We were taken away. Close the show.
Fucking A.
All right, ladies and probably less ladies and gentlemen, but all y'all regardless. This was the BOTA Show. We hope you had fun just taking a tour around the world of sports and BOTA segments with us. And for James, Chris, Zach, y'all know where to find us. We're around. We're in your ears.
Also for Glad Force Flex, our new sponsor.
Also from Glad Force Flex. They just the unequivocally best physics breaking trash bag one can ever imagine.
So next week, I'm wearing nothing but Glad Force Flex on the BOTA Show.
Yes.
Steal,
If
you
we
want to steal?
ever-
You want to steal? Look, steal James's look. Glad Force Flex bag, priceless.
It's got it right in the name, boy. It's a flex.
It is.
Next week, I'm wearing a trash bag only.
All right, cool.
And that's the BOTA Show, folks. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.
You know where to find us, Drew.
Already did
I
it.
already told them that we're in their
Really?
ears.
Wow, I missed that entire segment. I must have blacked out.
Stay beautiful.
Say soggy.
Stay yabo.
What is that? Soggy. Fuck that. Suck a chode.
really upset about the soggy thing, huh?
I'm very upset. He called me out within the first 5 seconds of the fucking episode.
Literally, right? Like,
Literally, I was like, oh, all right. I guess I'll go fuck myself then.
we had a
Jesus.
good time. I
Yeah,
had a good
yeah, I know.
appreciated that. Was
I
that
literally wake up, I go to the episode, I'm like, oh, cool. I'm already getting fucking tongue blast in my fart box.
And on that note, welcome.
Yeah, I knew you were recording it.
Yeah, I know you saw it, but
Yeah, I
still,
saw it.
Jesus Christ.